Hey, it's Mitch Calvert, Calvert Fitness, and I want to share with you today the 5 forgotten factors to lose fat fast. The things people overlook tend to be the most simple stuff, and that's what we're going to get into today in 10 minutes or less, okay? So bear with me. I'm going to share my screen. If you're not familiar with me, we've helped over 1,400 people in the last 10 years lose 20 plus pounds, countless inches. So we know what we're doing, and it's because we've worked with enough people to this point to know what works and what doesn't. And it all comes down to the fundamental 5 we're going to get into shortly here. So you're going to learn a simple system to drop the stubborn pounds plus the 5 forgotten factors to lose fat 2 times as fast. One small commitment: put down the devices unless you're watching this on that device. The tabs, multiple tabs open. We are in a distracted society, and I want you totally committed. It says 35 to 40 minutes, but I've abbreviated this into 10 to 15. And it's going to give you the blueprint to get to your fitness goals this year. So give this the 10 minutes it deserves. All right. So who am I? Well, Laidlaw School. I got the nickname Mitch Tits back in the day, junior high. I was always heavy set, the pleasantly plump kid. And that, climbed up to north of 260 pounds here in my early 20s. Finally got the itch and hit rock bottom, I guess, after high school, just realizing it was holding me back. Lost 60 pounds, certainly with some coaching help, went into the university path to learn how to be a fitness coach. And now 20 years later, you may have seen me in the free press. If you're local to Winnipeg, CJOB here, been published in Men's Health. We've had, and this needs to be updated, almost 1,500 transformations and counting. I won some personal trainer award too. Whoop-de-doo. Skipping ahead, first things first is the foundation of all this stuff is it starts up here. The stronger your why, the easier everything will be. And until you have a good reason to want to change, you won't. That's human nature. So what's your why? Well, in this case, we'll call this guy Serge on his couch. Daughter runs into the room. Daddy, daddy, daddy. Her eyes light up. His do too. But he knows if he doesn't change some fundamental habits soon, there's no guarantee he's going to be around for that girl, for that daughter of his, walking her down the aisle, let alone being able to, grow up and see those grandkids. And sure enough, worst case scenario, he doesn't change. And his daughter is crying, not just tears of happiness because she's getting married, but tears of sadness because the only man she loves as much as her husband, her father, is not there to walk her down the aisle. We can't have that, right? So that's who I work with, is primarily moms and dads approaching middle age, a little bit later in stages with kids, and everything comes first before your health. And we need to get that straightened away. So identity becomes self-fulfilling. You say you've got a slow metabolism, you don't have time to exercise, you do, because you are committed to your problems, not solutions. So the strongest force is the need to stay consistent with how we define ourselves. If you define yourself as a fitness person, you're going to make the time for it. We'll make good choices on autopilot, but it all starts with your identity. If you're not a smoker, you don't smoke. If you don't drink alcohol to excess, you don't do that. And if you don't skip workouts, committed to it, you won't. It's all a mindset, right? So let's identify that old identity and let's leave it in the past and let's bring a new one forward that's going to serve you well. Okay. We want to set a clear goal, a year-end goal, but we're going to focus on what you can do over the next 90 days. So don't be vague. I want to lose weight is not concise enough. It doesn't set the universe in motion to get you where you want to go. However, saying I'm so happy and grateful I put in the work to lose 13 pounds by April 15th, giving yourself roughly 90 days, that sets a target for you. Now, we don't get attached to that outcome in that set amount of days, but what it does is it creates momentum and it gives us a North Star to aim for. Now, most diets are set up to fail this time of year. They're way too low in calories. You're motivated, so you do very little. You cut your carbs, you cut the food down to nothing, you eat your salads, and they don't focus on strength training or muscle maintenance, which is the other X factor. Yeah, if they're working out, it's not necessarily building muscle. If you're doing intervals, Orange Theory circuits, there's not a lot of muscle being built there. It's calorie burning activities. Strength is lost, muscle is burned. You end up looking skinny, fat. That's not what we want. Plus, rigid meal plans. We want to give, because if you can lose weight with sustainable methods, the weight you do lose will be sustainable. Right? You can stay there. You can't just, rebound back up to where you started. So here's what to do instead. 5 forgotten factors. Number 1 is just walk more. Let's relax our bodies a little bit. Stress less. When you move, you have something magical that happens. it has a bigger difference on the number of calories you burn day to day than that 30-minute hard workout, because those other 23 hours matter more. Plus, longer life is a good thing, right? Lower BMI, all good things, and it doesn't stress your system. 2, pair that with strength training, because if you don't strength train and you cut your calories, you lose the baby out with the bathwater, right? The muscle with the fat. We want to prioritize losing body fat, maintaining, even gaining some nice toned muscle, right? Typically, this doesn't happen with age unless we stop doing the right things. If we can strength train well into our 80s, we maintain a lot of the muscle we earned. We don't lose it unless we stop doing the right things. This is why we talk about fat loss, okay? Because one group in this study did solely cardio, one group resistance trained, strength trained, same diet, ultra low calorie, 800 calories, don't recommend it. But after 12 weeks, the cardio group lost 9 pounds of muscle, tanked their metabolism, whereas the strength group gained 2 pounds of lean muscle. They lost comparable amounts of fat, so the cardio group looks like they did better on the scale. You compare pictures, night and day, right? One looks toned and lean, one looks kind of flabby. So 30-minute strength workouts are the game. Stimulate, do not annihilate. You've got enough on your plate. 30-minute strength workouts are the secret. 3, you've got to find time to prioritize sleep. It's not going to be perfect every day, especially if you're a parent, but if you sleep 6 or less hours, you're starting the day in a calorie burning hole. It's the equivalent to running on the treadmill for 30 minutes. So consider that, visualize that. Sleep is the fat loss miracle drug that you're overlooking. This is just to make sure you're still there. Wake up. Just don't wake up too early. Number 4, water. Why? Well, studies show it helps with weight loss. Drinking water before meals led to less consumption of food and reductions in body fat. Join the 3-liter club. Aim to be in the 2 to 4 liter range, depending on body size. Last but not least, calorie control. There's no getting around this one. You've got to be in a deficit, we call it, which means less calories than your body needs to maintain its weight. You do that, simple math, you will lose fat. This professor proved that. He ate nothing but Twinkies and I think a couple protein shakes, lost 27 pounds, cholesterol improved even, and he just maintained his 800 calorie average per day, and that's why he lost. However, prioritize protein because we want to pair that strength training with sufficient protein so that we build muscle on the way down, okay? Protein is not technically the same amount of calories as carbs and fats because it has a high thermic effect, which means for every 100 calories you ate from protein, technically 30 of those calories, roughly speaking, is burned off just to digest it, whereas it's a lot lower for carbs and fats. All right, you're still with me? We're wrapping this up. That's the 5. Putting it all together is to hit your cap, calorie and protein target. Spot target training is our method, but any kind of strength training 3 to 4 times a week is going to be sufficient for you as long as you're hitting your max recoverable volume for each muscle group. Walk roughly 10,000 steps. If you're at 5 now, bump it up. Try to aim for this eventually. Sleep your quality nights of sleep. Drink your water. Boom. Those are the forgotten 5, fundamental 5, I call them, that will lead to 10, 15, 20 pounds lost in the next 90 days. So that's the little challenge for you. I'll share that with you after. Now, everyone will say, oh, I know this stuff. I know what to do. I just need to do it. From people who never lose weight, and they're missing this X factor, the golden ticket. Accountability, skin in the game to another human being and a community of other people on the same path as you. If you're a lone wolf, expect to struggle. I believe in it because I got a coach back in the day, and before that, I was doing every fad in the book and not getting anywhere. So here are some members. Tara lost 40 pounds, a lot off the midsection. Ron, I did this backwards, but you can tell this is the after photo. Jenna actually had to get her dress resized. She reached out to me after this because she wasn't happy with how she looked. There's the finished product. Brett lost his waistline, 6 inches in total. Candace, 25 pounds, but 30 inches. Again, we're focused more on inches than scale. Joey lost 50. On average, ladies lose 2 sizes. That's our promise, at least 3 inches off the waist in those 90 days. For men, 4 inches off the waist, but typically we exceed that, as you can see. All right. Worked with my associate coach, Abby. Lots of good stuff. You understand, you get the idea, we know what we're doing. So would you like to hear how to take that first step? It's a no obligation taste test, okay? It's a VIP 7-day guest pass, and how it all starts is share with you in a second. This is how we work. Every day you've got a task list. I can see what you're eating. You've got assigned workouts and little things like tracking your body stats. We can see your steps, all those things keep you highly accountable to the plan. We do tie in the virtual with the in-person. We do in-person stuff every second month, but live workouts 3 times a week, including yoga, and live Q&As, mindset calls to get you over those humps and make sure you're connected to the community. And then a coach, of course, in your pocket, sending you a report card every Monday, checking in when you start to slip. Everyone needs that, right? I find the community, though, coaches itself to a certain degree, and it's very powerful. We've got, over 200 members in the community, and you get into small subgroups of 4 or less. You get to know these people, and they get to help you along if they're further along their journeys. Bonus, to get you started on the right foot, 10-day rapid fat loss blueprint, right? To drop as much as 5 pounds in that first week and a pant size in our first 30 days together. We give you a ton of recipes, but we don't make them complicated. 5 ingredients or less, so you never have to eat chicken and broccoli again, unless that's your thing. And then a fast food guide. If you travel a lot, if you're on the go, yes, there are options to get at fast food and all these popular fast food joints, and that's kind of your fallback, right? If you don't have a meal prepared. And then our vault, over $5,000 worth of products here that you get free right off the hop, just for booking a consult with us as the next step. And I know you think it's busy and you can't commit to this, that, and the other thing. I get it. The perfect time to start is when you decide it is, not a perfect set of conditions. Because if you're like me in your 30s, 40s, and beyond with kids, career responsibilities, fitness tends to take back seats. You just got to start. You got to make it fit your reality now so that you're not chasing your outcomes and goals later on in life when it only gets harder. So if this got you the body of your dreams, what is that worth to you ultimately? What is the cost of staying where you are? If you've watched this far, you probably aren't happy with where you're at. There's something to improve upon. And that's what I'm offering you here. Because I want you to be that person that can flaunt a bikini or a mankini in this case and be comfortable in your own skin. And we've got a few months still until summer to be that present active parent, right? To not have health issues in your 40s and 50s. That's the worst case scenario. You want to be the best example for those you care about and be a role model, frankly. But it all comes and starts with how you feel when you look at yourself, when you're by yourself, right? And that's what I'm giving you here. So what to do next? Click the link below, schedule in a coaching consult with us. We're going to give you a game plan. We're going to talk options to move forward with us, but by no means is there any obligation beyond this. We're going to set you up with a blueprint. And if you think you can implement it on your own, cool, all good. If you want to have our help, me talking in a third person plus my other coaches, then we can discuss that as well. Okay. So workwithmitch.ca is the link. If that button doesn't work for you below, just type that into your URL. We're offering 10 of these free consults to the first 10 who watch this video. If you see blue spots on the calendar where you can click the date, that means there's still an opportunity to schedule this in. Okay. We'll leave it at that. Hopefully that was helpful. Talk soon. And hopefully we'll actually talk.